guys, it's Molly and Maria.
Welcome back to our channel.
Hi. So today is our first day of filming this project, and we're planning to go experience running club. This is our first meeting. Very excited. It kind of looks chilly out.
Gray, a little windy.
So I don't know. I'll probably wear quarter zip shorts or leggings and a t-shirt.
Yeah. Probably gonna go with quarter zip and shorts and get our running shoes.
I'm kind of excited.
Not gonna lie, I'm excited.
It'll at least get me out for a run. Need that motivation.
Maria and I both are big runners, and so we've been running together since we've been here, but we haven't actually been to the running club meetings yet, so we're excited to go check it out and see what it's all about.
That's part of the reason we picked doing running club too, because we both already signed up for it and we wanted to be more involved, so it was a good way to go together and experience the meetings and runs together.
Yeah, we were both already planning on getting involved in it, so it'll be a great community for us to analyze.
We're very, very excited.
We're so excited.
We'll keep you updated
along the way. Stay tuned.
On days that running club meets, the group meets at Degelman Circle and leaves on their runs from there. The green dot on the map shows where we started running, and the black and white dot shows where we finished. The route shown on the map is a 4.84-mile route and is one of the club's favorite routes to run. The group leaves Degelman Circle and crosses 24th Street and heads south under I-480. They run straight through the intersection past Central High School. Then they head east on Dodge past Bike Union Coffee. The group runs in 1, 2, or 3 groups based on speed and the number of runners on any given day. When waiting to cross an intersection, the group crosses all together and no one is left behind. We continue to run up Dodge towards Conagra Lake. We got off Dodge and ran southeast up a hill towards the lake. We got on a trail that loops around the lake. It was a beautiful fall day for a run, and the lake added some really nice scenery.
Hey guys, we're about a mile in. We ended up at the Conagra Lake, and it's really pretty out here. It's warmer than we expected, so kind of wish we wore t-shirts, but it's going good so far.
It's a pretty fall day out. Good day for a run.
During our run, we asked 2 of the runners different questions about running club and their personal experiences. The first question, what made you want to join running club? One of the runners stated that he always runs and it's easier to do with a group of people. In addition, it keeps him in shape. The next runner we spoke to was a former hockey player, and he missed all the cardio. He decided he did not want to play hockey in college, so he decided to join this running club. Both runners agreed that the route we were currently running was their favorite. We then asked if they met a lot of people through running club. They both agreed that they met plenty of people, and it's a good way to get to know each other. Those 2 runners we spoke to, one being a grad student and the other a sophomore, did not know each other beforehand, but now run with each other on a consistent basis.
Hey guys, we're on mile 2. So this is our lovely update. I think I'm feeling better than mile 1. Mile 1 was a little rough. I had to get loose and actually start running before
Now that we're
I started
into the
feeling
groove of
good.
it, we're starting to feel a lot better about it, which is good.
Yeah,
Make
it's
it-
going well so far.
Yeah.
All the people are really, really nice. They all wait up for us.
Yeah, we're getting to know meeting other people of all different ages, so
Yeah,
it's definitely good. So
doing good.
stay tuned for mile 3.
We continued running around Conagra Lake, and some of the faster groups ran around the lake twice, while the slower groups ran around the lake once. This helped people not stand around, and it gave the faster runners and more advanced runners more mileage for the day. Then, after we all completed the lake, we slowly ran back towards the CHI Health Center. And from there, we had to stop at a light, but after the light turned green, we slowly made our way back up to Creighton. On our way, we passed TD Ameritrade Park and a few other Creighton buildings and slowly continued our way back onto campus.
So, we told you we'd be back for mile 3, and so here we are. Honestly, feeling way better than both mile 2 and mile 1. I don't know why. I think I'm for endurance.
We finished running around the lake a while ago. We're headed back up 10th Street towards Creighton.
We passed the HI Center. That was cool. We kind of got to see downtown more.
From not being from here, it's a good way to like get to know the area around Creighton, because I'm only really familiar with campus, and so through running here, I'm learning lots about like where everything is downtown and different places to go. And
it's not as sunny anymore. Kind of nice, but
clouds covering the sun.
I'm glad I wore the quarter zip now.
Yeah, now I'm glad for the long sleeve. So
but it's going good.
After we finished the 3rd mile, we continued heading back towards Creighton. We cut across the parking lot of the south side of TD Ameritrade Park and continued running back towards Creighton. We got back to campus right between Morrison Stadium and the Raz Fitness Center and ran up next to Harper all the way until we got to the Eternal Flame. All the other runners that had been running with us that day at Running Club were waiting for us at the Eternal Flame. We ran all the way to the flame and high-fived it. That marked the end of our run. We continued waiting there while the rest of the runners in the group got back to the flame. That marks the end of the run for Running Club, and it is a tradition that the club ends their runs at the flame.
Hey guys, we just touched the flame.
Feels really good to be done with the run.
Definitely a good decision to go for a run today. It always puts you in a better mood. We're walking back towards Kiewit now, so gonna go shower and get started on some homework, but overall it was
good to
Overall, it was really good to get out, and we loved Running Club. I'm definitely going to be back.
Yeah, it was a great community, and I'm super excited that we picked to do this for our project.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we loved our time with Running Club, and we took some time to really think about what we thought about it all, the members of the community, as well as the people and conversations and everything, our overall experience while we were running with them. And so after we took some time to talk about it together and stuff, we wanted to share our thoughts with you guys. So one of the main languages within the club and other running organizations we've both been a part of in the past is the term DTR, which means down to run. So I think both of our high school cross-country teams and other people we've run with use this DTR expression that means down to run.
That's just like a little saying within the running community, and I was surprised that more people knew about it than I thought.
Yeah, I thought it was just my high school.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, but turns out more people knew about it than I thought.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool because it's just like if you're not a part of haven't been a part of a running community, track team or whatever, it might seem foreign to people, so it's kind of cool that I thought it was just my high school, she thought it was just her high school, and it turns out it's more like the running community as a whole. So that was cool. Yeah.
So on our run, we engaged in a lot of conversations and listened to a lot of conversations. For the most part, they were all really easygoing, cheerful, like, how has your day been? How was your week? What classes are going well? What classes aren't? So all the runners were super, super friendly. All the conversations were super nice. And that was the first time Molly and I had met them, and I'm sure that some of the other runners too, that might have been their first time also, but it felt super welcoming and warm and just super, super easy to talk to everyone. We discussed various topics all the way from schoolwork, family, to
grad school.
Yeah, grad school. Just other activities that we like to do outside of running, school. Honestly, any topic you can think of.
One of the most interesting parts for me was everyone was talking about why they joined the club. So it was interesting to hear everyone's different running backgrounds, if they've always run their whole life or if they just are in college now and looking for another activity because they're missing high school sports or whatnot. So they made a great first impression on all of us, everyone there. One of the unique things about I thought was how it could alternate so quickly from just like two people talking to each other to the whole group we were running with talking about the same thing.
Running club fits into the Jesuit mission of the university we saw through Pedro Rupe's article, Men and Women for Others. This article emphasized that people should not live for themselves but for others, and we saw this atmosphere in running club because, well, one example was there was a fast group and a slower group, and so the faster group would run ahead, but we'd hit a certain point and we'd wait for the slower group to catch up because we'd wanted to stay as a group. So it didn't matter how fast or slow you were because in the end we tried to stick together regardless of the pace.
There was a tremendous emphasis on like don't leave anyone behind, and it goes along with Pedro Rupe's article because none of us really knew each other beforehand, but just because we didn't know someone particularly well or at all beforehand didn't mean we didn't wait for them. Or
it really emphasized the selfless and communal aspect that was also discussed in Arupe's article.
Running club is on a come and go as you wish basis. The meetings or runs are in no way required, so just whenever fits best with your schedule.
This also showed or demonstrated the more of the laid back atmosphere, but in turn people ended up not knowing each other as much, so that required more of an effort on all the runners' parts, like on Molly and my part, to make that effort to try and reach out and meet those people that we don't see on a weekly basis.
Yes. Running club demonstrates a unique use of space through demonstrating one of its core values of selflessness through the different routes that the runners go and run on, and how it can be unfamiliar to some people and familiar to others, and how even if you're familiar with that specific route because you've run it before or whatever, how you're always going to be there for others and not leave anyone in the group behind. One of the readings we were able to draw a parallel from to Running Club was Nedra Reynolds reading landscapes and walking the streets and maps of every day, habitual pathways and contested places.
So this ties into our community because the map making that she discussed there was more visualizing and taking in the scenery, sights, and sounds around us. So she talked about formulating maps in our mind through our senses, and that's what we did in Run Club. So we would run along and we were able to take in those sights and sounds that she discussed. And so this was different than the traditional map making because the map wasn't right in front of us. And then we didn't think about it. We thought about it as we were running because of everything around us.
And we took her readings into close consideration when we were deciding how we wanted to depict the map of where we ran to you guys. And so we picked a very visual route or method to explain it. So instead of just showing the map of overall the route that we ran, we thought that it would be beneficial to include the snippets of which direction we were running and then put the footage in of like what it actually looked like at that intersection and stuff, because although you couldn't get the smell and the sounds from it, just being able to visualize it is way more beneficial than seeing an overall aerial view map of where we ran.
And this helped us demonstrate that it was a form of organic intellectualism because it wasn't your traditional sense of schooling and learning. It was learning through experience.
Another one of the readings that we were able to draw a parallel to Running Club was Paula Matsu's writing in the streets. She highlights the messages and stories that can be behind graffiti, and it changed both of our views on graffiti and how instead of it being something that is destructive, it can actually hold several different stories and meanings.
So as we were running by TD Ameritrade Park, and to our left, there's this really, really big, beautiful mural. Here, let's show you a picture. An initial reaction would be, why would someone paint that? It could be defacing property, but because, well, what we learned inside the classroom, we also learned can be taken outside of the classroom. And
goes both ways.
Yes, and so then our initial reaction to that was maybe, oh, who painted that? What's their message behind it? Because in the classroom we learned that graffiti isn't always the defacing of property. although it can be, but typically there's an untold story or message meaning behind whatever is being painted.
This reading also showed us another way of organic intellectualism because it was learning that wasn't necessarily done in the classroom. But just like Maria mentioned earlier, like this learning inside of the classroom can also apply to outside of the classroom, because something that we both said we'd ordinarily just run by and not think anything of. We both immediately, once we saw it, started talking about the graffiti, like both from what we had learned in class and what the different stories or meanings behind it potentially could be.
Yeah. If we got the chance to do this project again, I think both of us would be all for it, and we enjoyed running club a lot.
Running club was definitely the way to go.
Yes, and if I redid this project, I think I would pick to do running club again.